Our new story begins from a lingering past when our protagonist Hayato was caught up in a massive attack of savages with a girl. In that attack, the girl got infected by its virus, and Hayato tried to save her by sucking it out. With those distinct nightmare, he woke up wondering what happened to that girl. Thinking about that, Hayato arrived in the floating city to continue his military academy studies. A few girls even came to pick him up, but their way was too flashy, so he went to school by himself. There everyone started to gag him because our boy was pretty famous for having record high scores. So somehow he slipped by and suddenly this white-haired guy leaped on him. That was Emil, and he's the same first year like Hayato. Then they went to the entrance ceremony where the student council president was just about to deliver her speech when those two stranded girls came in. Arriving late is an offense, and as the president of the student body, Claire wanted to make it clear that everyone should be disciplined. So she decided to expel those two girls. They tried to give their reason, but Claire didn't listen. And feeling guilty about it, Hayato stood up for them. Because in a way they did arrive late because of him bailing out on them. Claire couldn't handle such disrespect, so she challenged our guy for a duel. Everyone thought he's screwed, but Emil thought he would win this easily. He took Hayato to the chief researcher of this place, and her name is Charlotte. She also heard the commotion of the newbie who's about to fight the queen of the academy. So to assist him, she gave him a device called 100 that is mainly used in battle against savages. It has a unique stone in it that responds to the user and changes its form based on their will. For Claire, her weapon is a multi-cannon, and now Hayato will gain similar power to fight Claire. He and Emil went to practice area where Hayato first deployed his 100. It turned into a sword type. So Emil didn't waste time, and went along with Hayato's training. So far he was doing somewhat great, and by the end of the day, Hayato remembered he had to go visit his sister in the hospital. Her health never stays well, so he went over to check up on Karen. After that he went to his dorm room, and saw Emil was changing clothes in his room. And for some reason he wore a towel like a girl, and even threw Hayato out. Then the guy woke up after a while, and only then Emil cleared the air that they are roommates. Well, after that comes the fated day of the duel with the queen. Since Claire was the queen, or you could say the strongest in the academy, she decided to give Hayato a handicap by not using her full body armament against him. Only a few manages to do that, and since Hayato is a newbie, he's far from it. Then the match starts, and Hayato quickly got on the losing end. Claire was pushing him to the corner, and he tried to fight back. He concentrated his power on a single strike attack, but the queen had far more cards to play. With it she landed a staggering blow with her cannon, and just when everyone thought Claire won, Hayato woke up, so Claire got ready to end the game. But watching that big cannon, something happened to Hayato. Suddenly he got way better with his attacks, and even pushed Claire on the defensive. Even when she thought she got the guy, Hayato shocked everyone by putting up the full body armament just after getting his 100 2 days ago. Claire couldn't possibly accept the defeat, as her pride as queen would get affected. So she used her full body armament to beat up Hayato, which she got him in the end, but in a way the declaration Claire made was personal and had nothing to do with rules, so she could be counted as a winner. But Claire accepted she wouldn't have won if Hayato hadn't pushed her to her limits. That's why, to keep her words, she admitted defeat. Then Hayato woke up in the hospital, where Claire was already waiting to get some answers. Like, how did he deploy full body armament? Hayato said that after passing 1 point, he doesn't recall anything. So Claire let the guy be, and went away. Then the next day, when Hayato was feeling better, Emil took him out on a city tour. But then Karen called as she heard about the duel. This news was spreading like wildfire about how a new guy managed to put up a fight with the queen. Worried about it, Karen herself came to meet him, and saw her brother was with a guy. To be specific, it was a pretty boy, so she got all protective of Hayato. But between their little peaceful time, Claire came out. She was here to ask for Hayato's help to join the patrolling squad, as she's sort on guards. But Emil tried to deny it on Hayato's behalf. Their argument turned violent as the vice president saw Emil being rude to Claire. Then the emergency buzzer started, indicating a savage attack, but before Claire went away, Charlotte also came in and asked her to include Emil and Hayato in this mission. It would be Hayato's first real battle, so he agreed. There were 3 savages on the run, and the third one was larger than normal. Watching that, Claire changed her mind, because the savage was a 10-class monster. But that only left Claire and the other 2 to fight them. So she thought of holding out until backup arrived. but Hayato requested her to take them too. And Charlotte revealed that Lisa was the one who told them to include Hayato and Emile in this. Lisa is an AI model and a very trustworthy one. So they convinced Claire and made the plan of engaging in battle. According to that, they went into the city. There Erica showed that destroying the crystal core of these monsters is the only way to permanently stop them. Watching that, Emile and Hayato followed with the same strategy, and with a little tweak of their own strategy, they snagged the second Savage. Now, that only left that Tenna-class monster. Liddy and Erica went after it, but tasted defeat too easily. So Claire charged her gun to burn it down to ash, but the Savage also did the same and nullified her attack. Then, as the second attack came, Hayato swooped in and saved the lady. Then it charged again, and if they don't stop at the airport would get hit. So Claire and Hayato combined their powers to deploy an extra durable shield to endure that attack themselves. But between that, Emile got hit by the Savage, and the scar she had between her chest got revealed. Turns out Emile was that same girl from the past whom Hayato had saved. Her real name was Emilia Hermet, and Hayato once again saved her. But while doing so, he got into a little pinch, and the guy went into that frenzy state again. So Emilia got in between and kissed Hayato, which calmed him down. Then together they destroyed the Savage in a heated move. But they forgot others were present too, so Emilia's secret was out of the bag now. But first they all packed things up to return back. And just as they returned, Emilia explained that she's called a variant because she is infected with the Savage virus, and since Hayato had sucked it out of her to save her life, he got infected too. And because of it, Hayato often goes into frenzy because this virus protects its host when it senses danger. But when it comes into contact with a non-active virus, it nullifies its effect. That's why Emilia kissed Hayato back then. But suddenly Hayato got dizzy and fell down, and Emilia thought it was the after effect of the virus and kissed Hayato immediately. Then Claire came in, and in a hurry Hayato tried to get up, but he bumped into Emilia's leg and fell down on Claire as well, and their fated kiss happened. Now this called for a competition, and Emilia got all competitive. So after that day, a really popular celebrity named Sakura was coming to Little Garden for her concert, and she specifically requested her bodyguard should be Hayato. Hayato saw no problem in it and agreed. Claire liked his immediate response and was ready to do anything he would like for his work. So Hayato asked for a ticket to Sakura's concert because Karen is a really huge fan of hers. Hearing that, her heart started to pound like crazy. But then she told Hayato that she tried to read his fortune with tarot cards, and it said to avoid women and water. Hayato didn't believe much in those cards, and the next day he got ready to be on service. There Sakura arrived, and Erica and Hayato welcomed her at the airport. But Hayato was really awkward around ladies, so Sakura tried to break the ice a bit, but sadly it didn't work. Then at the hotel, Hayato opened the door to her room, but Sakura reminded Hayato that a bodyguard checks the room first before their client enters. Hayato was so unprofessional, which Sakura hadn't thought. So Hayato cleared up that he had just enrolled in the academy and had never worked as a bodyguard before. Then as they got in, Sakura suddenly asked Hayato to marry her. She had a clip of Hayato fighting that Savage from before, and after watching it, she thought this is her dream guy. She's a rising star and wishes to marry a strong guy like him. Her imagination was running wild, so Hayato had to stop her. He agreed to everything, and decided to kiss her to seal their fate. That made the lady shy, and she finally stopped. After that, she got ready to head out for a press conference, and then later they went to the concert where Sakura would perform. There she changed into another outfit to use her own 100, and in all honesty, it was breathtaking. It can help her with flying too, but she's actually a support-type slayer. Charlotte was an old acquaintance of Sakura, as she had helped the girl during her rough time. Then, as the job for the day got finished, Sakura was praying to God for her song to reach everyone's heart, but there were some people who wanted to ruin Sakura's concert.
So now as the story continues, we see that the reason Sakura loved singing was because of her mother, who was no longer in this world, but her teachings remained and inspired her to make the world happy with her songs. Well, anyway, our Hayato found himself in a tight spot because Claire called him over to her vacation house while she was relaxing. He was struggling to keep himself under control since Claire was in a bikini. After some quarrel and a few accidents, Claire finally revealed that someone was planning to cause trouble at Sakura's concert with a variable stone. Someone had stolen it from the venue, so now Hayato had to ensure Sakura's safety. Since that matter was settled, Claire wanted to have a swimming competition with Hayato, and she even picked a swimsuit for him, but the boy ran away to save his chastity. After escaping, he still had some free time, so Hayato and Emilia went out on a date. Her being a girl was still a secret, so they chose a spot far away from where other students usually gathered. First they went to pick out a casual outfit for Hayato, and there he bought a beautiful necklace for Emilia. But while leaving the shop they ran into Fritz and Rithia, which was quite the coincidence, and Emilia remembered that Fritz was the one who recommended this shop to her. So when they got the chance, both of them ran away. When they stopped to catch their breath, Emilia went to get some cold drinks. And that's when Claire called Hayato to inform him that Sakura had gone off on her own, so Hayato had more work to deal with. But luckily Sakura found him first. She had tracked the guy and wanted to take Hayato to a very special place. Hayato hesitated to leave Emilia alone, but it would be even worse if Sakura encountered Emilia directly, so to prevent trouble Hayato agreed under the condition that Sakura lets her assistant know she is with him. After that she took Hayato to the Grand Canyon of the Little Garden, a place that held precious memories with her mother. She was grateful that Hayato fought the savages to protect it. Then she began humming a melody her mother had composed for her. Coincidentally, Hayato's sister also used to sing that same melody, which made Sakura uneasy. She asked about his sister, and when she heard it was Karen, she was shocked. Because during her childhood, when the savages attacked Gutenberg City, Sakura lost her mother, but at the shelter she met a pair of siblings and sang this melody for them. The boy told her it was beautiful and encouraged her to sing more. And only because of that encouragement she chose her career. But Hayato remembered that she had disappeared soon after that day, so Sakura revealed that her father had come to take her, but soon after that she had fallen ill. That's when she lost her voice completely. When no medicine worked, her father grew impatient and sold her to a laboratory. It was run by a scientist named Natalie, who was attempting to artificially create slayers by injecting savage blood into children without caring for their lives. There Sakura regained her voice and she sang to comfort the other children. Eventually only she survived. Thankfully Souffle and Charlotte rescued her, and since then she had been living this life. This also made her the same as Hayato, a variant. Sharing their pasts they grew closer, and while taking the last bus back to the city, savages suddenly attacked them. Claire received news that Hayato was engaging the savages, but surprisingly Sakura deployed her 100 to help, though it wasn't offensive but supportive, so Hayato went in for the attack and successfully shattered the core. Since that took care of the threat, they thought it was over, but another savage appeared, and it was even bigger than the last one. Luckily reinforcements arrived with Emil. She saw her beloved Hayato with Sakura, which reminded her of how he ditched her that morning. But there was no time for arguments because the savage was still attacking, so together they dealt with it first. After that she planned to scold Hayato, but the savage regenerated too quickly. Then Sakura called out to it and it reacted. Noticing the opening, Hayato went in for the kill, but someone interrupted. He also realized the savage was responding to Sakura's voice, but he and his friends were interrupted by Fritz and his group, who picked a fight. However, since they already had the savage cores, they eventually retreated. Not taking any unnecessary risks, our group also withdrew. Once back, Claire informed them about the people who attacked. Apparently they were connected to a criminal organization that steals savage cores, since savage cores and variable stones were similar in value. Aside from that, they all returned safely from such a dangerous emergency mission, which proved they were already capable slayers, so Claire decided to put them into the selections. Later Hayato went to meet Sakura at the beach. She confessed that many people admired her songs because of the emotions they carried, but she thought the real reason was that she was a variant. She believed her voice and songs weren't truly good. A good example was that savage which responded to her voice, but Hayato reminded her that her song had touched his heart long before she became a variant, so it had nothing to do with her powers. Believing in his words, she performed at the concert. The venue was completely packed and she sang with all her heart. After her first song she debuted her personal favorite, the song her mother wrote for her. It was tender, calming, and beautiful. The stream of her performance soared online and her song reached people all across the world. The concert became a worldwide success, and though it was time for her to leave, she boldly claimed Hayato, making Emilia and Claire jealous to their core. But her absence didn't last too long. She returned when she had some free time, and since everyone had worked so hard in the past weeks, they all went to relax at the beach. Hayato was overwhelmed by the women's attention. But the fun didn't last long, as Claire's older brother appeared. He was a cunning sly fox and was eager to meet Hayato. He had detailed information on everyone and even knew Emilia was a girl, but he played along since he wanted to talk to Claire. After that, the trip ended and Claire called everyone to her office to announce they were selected for the Antisavage mission, but right outside Juter approached Hayato for a private chat. He asked if Hayato knew what really powered the floating city. The official story was that it ran on nuclear fusion, but in truth it was powered by a girl in deep sleep. Her name was Lisa, the first Slayer invariant in history. And she was also his sister. Claire was furious that Juter revealed this secret, but Juter said he had a reason. He believed Hayato carried divine blood and might awaken Lisa with it, so he told Hayato to touch the shell around her. Hayato was confused, but he tried and it reacted briefly to his power before stopping. It wasn't enough, so Juter backed off. But before leaving, he warned that Natalie was after Lisa, the same scientist who created the 3 rogue hunters. After that, the group departed for their mission, which required them to hunt about 50 savages with allied nation squads. Unfortunately, one of the nations was Gutenberg and someone there recognized Emilia. Thanks to this, Hayato learned she was actually the 3rd princess of Gutenberg, but Emilia had renounced her title to live with Hayato. However, that fanatical girl accused Hayato of using black magic to charm the princess and challenged him to a duel. Her confidence was nothing but foolishness since she had no idea who she was up against, so Hayato defeated her with ease. Now their mission began, and for some reason Claudia forced her way into the squad. Fritz was placed into another squad, and when they encountered their first savage, Claudia stole the spotlight by finishing it herself. Meanwhile, the 3 rogues kept watching as the Slayers thinned out the savages. When night fell, the team split into groups for night duty. Since Hayato was the only guy, it caused some fuss. So Claire had him join her group first while Emilia and Erika rested. While keeping watch, Claire and Hayato had a peaceful talk, and soon Claudia reported spotting a huge shadow ahead. Claire and Hayato went to investigate while Claudia stayed behind. Her real plan was to convince Emilia to return home, but ironically her lie turned out to be true because Claire and Hayato actually did find a savage. Claire attempted to finish it but slipped in the mud, so Hayato had to deliver the final blow. Embarrassed to return like that, Claire decided to wash herself in the lake. It gave her and Hayato a chance to talk more about their past and themselves, but suddenly an emergency signal came through the radio. It was Fritz, whose squad was under attack by the 3 rogue slayers again. Just when things looked dire, Claire arrived as Hayato ran to call others. Claire is the dominant queen, so she asked the rogues to just surrender. But as the rain began to pour, the situation shifted in favor of the rogues. But right there, our video has to end for today, but stay tuned to find out what happens next, and for that subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Till then, take care.